Hey, welcome back. Brad Tragick with another wrestling review here on March 27th, 2012. Um, Last night, the 26th, we seen Monday Night Raw, the last one before WrestleMania 28. Um, Pretty good. It started out with, um, not really much of a bang. Um, Started out with Randy Orton coming down, um, tag teaming with Sheamus to take on Kane and Daniel Bryan. Great opener, but nothing really to get you like really hyped up for Mania. I mean, you hear Randy Orton's promo, but you know he's not in a major program with anybody at WrestleMania. You know, it's like kind of a lackluster program with Kane he's in. And who knows, he'll probably go over. And with him having a uh, when Daniel Bryan got the pin on Sheamus last night to end the match. So and it kind of got AJ's involvement. So that kind of gets you thinking. It kind of was a good setup for the world title match because you're like, well, woo, didn't expect that. So now it's a whole different ball game because you didn't expect AJ to get involved. So I will say the excitement for the world title match did get a little bit more interesting for WrestleMania. But this should have happened like a month ago, like right after Sheamus won the Royal Rumble and after he announced Sheamus, we should have seen more involvement from AJ, showing that she could get involved. But now it's just like the 1 week before that kind of was the brush off that AJ showed that she might get involved. So now it's kind of up in the air. Like now nobody knows what's going to happen. So a lot of unpredictability for WrestleMania. You have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, anything can happen really, and that's really what WWE's always been about. Anything can happen in the WWF, used to be back in the day, and now anything can happen in the WWE. So you never know what can happen. That's the craziness, and that's what they're bringing back, and that's what we need to have. Brought back. Just because the guy's a top guy doesn't mean he has to go over all the time. There has to be some shocking moments. There has to be some, John Cena got beat. He doesn't have to win every single match. People make mistakes, and that should be part of the programming. If let's say, I don't know, like Kofi Kingston, beats John Cena 1 week on Raw, you can expect that. If John Cena made a mistake and Kofi was able to capitalize, and get a world title shot, or something like one of the pay-per-views, be interesting, be good to see. I mean, Kofi doesn't have to win, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Or some, heel, like Epico or Primo, somebody like that, They don't have to go over. They don't have to beat John Cena, but they can look viable and get a win over John Cena on Raw to make him look well, he might win. He might be. You never know. Um, and that's the thing. I think looking forward to the rest of 2012 and after Mania, they may start to get a little better since the Rock Cena thing will be done with, and hopefully they'll move on from that. And continue to grow with the WWE, and hopefully the draft will come back and things will get shaken up a little bit because I think we really do need a draft. At least that just to start trades being allowed to be made, so people can trade between SmackDown and get rid of the Raw Super. I think the Raw Super Show was the worst idea ever because this is what it's like. Oh my God, okay. So you combine both the shows, but you don't see any of the undercard ever. So what's the point of having the undercard? It's like having, like, if you were going to go back in the day and you did not have the Bushwhackers ever come out, you just had Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect, and that's basically all the program you revolved around. Yeah, it would have been great, but it would have got boring really quick. With just having about 10 superstars being on the same program every single week. It's basically the same formula, But if you go back, the Wrestling Challenge, at least, you have one main event and then all these squash matches. It was interesting, though, because you got to see, all these vignettes before then and everything like that, between the matches and things. That's what was great, To go back and say that Wrestling Challenge was almost more entertaining than Monday Night Raw is today, it's sad. But let's go back to what the original subject is, and that is Monday Night Raw. Like I said, not really a great Raw. There's not much to talk about. Like I said, we've seen Booker T was added to Team Teddy's team. We've seen, I seen Great Khali was on there now. Okay, so Team Teddy consists of Santino, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Great Khali, blanket. Santino, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Great Khali, Booker T. Now, missing a guy. Oh, Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder. Yeah, there we go. There's 6, and then they will face the team of David Otunga, who's the team captain. Whatever. Dolph Ziggler, uh, uh, Jack Swagger, Drew McIntyre replaced Christian, Mark Henry, and who was the other guy? Drawing a blank. Oh, The Miz. The Miz is now on Team Johnny. And the managers, I guess, for that is Vicky and Oksana, I'm guessing, will be on the other side too as well. They didn't show her last night, but I'm sure she'll be there. And Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle. That's hard to say. Yeah, I guess he'll be on their team too because he was holding the flag. He's a flag bearer, I guess you could say. They were calling him last night. Stupid. But yeah, there you go. Not much with the women's tag match that happened. Kelly defeated Eve in the ring. Maria didn't even show up. It's like, why isn't she not even showing up to one Raw? One Raw, at least. The one before Mania. Nothing. She's just going to show up there. That's it. No point in having her at WrestleMania. No point at all. If you're not going to have some person that wants to get involved on Raw, then they don't even need to be there. It's stupid. And her being in the Hall of Fame will be an insult. So I hope to God that she does something else in the future with the WWE to make her even eligible to maybe do at least 3 things with the WWE to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. Because she really hasn't did anything for WrestleMania or anything. Yeah. I guess Hall of Fame doesn't really mean like just WrestleMania, but that's what it seems to be. But yeah, like I said, not really much else to talk about. Jericho just keeping the mind games going on with CM Punk. And it's really out there. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, he's getting CM Punk so angry, but you know, I think CM Punk works probably pretty good when he's angry, so probably not a good idea. Anyway, Undertaker, Triple H, nothing. They weren't even there. Michaels wasn't there. Huge program talking about the history of Michaels and Undertaker and basically the culmination of the match at Mania. Basically all we got. That's all we got. Awesome. But I mean, they sold it well. And there was an interview with Kevin Nash online with, I believe, the PWR report. I could be wrong. Pro Wrestling Report. And he was talking about how that's probably the best match on the card, storyline, story built, and everything like that. And, you know, the best draw of the card. So, more likely it probably will be the main event. So, look for that to probably be the headliner. Yeah, but I mean, really, at the end of the Raw, you've seen John Cena and The Rock talking in the middle of the ring, basically talking trash back and forth, and same stuff we've heard for the past. You know, Cena said a lot of the same stuff we've heard the past few weeks. They both basically described why they both must win. You know, Cena said, you know, well, I gotta beat you because you're the guy coming in. You know, that's never here, and like that's why I have to beat you to prove. And then The Rock basically said, you know, well, I beat Hulk Hogan, I beat Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. I've got to beat you to be basically called the greatest superstar in the WWE's history. You know, to beat the 2 best superstars, Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold, you know, that he has to beat John Cena in order to be called, you know, the greatest superstar in the WWE, you know, thus far. So that's basically what he said. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, you know, and Kevin Nash even said the same thing that I said a second ago, is that there's a lot of unpredictability right now at WrestleMania. So it's really, really good because no one knows really who's going to win any match. Basically, any of the matches on the card except for the Divas match, which I'm wondering who's going to win that. That's the only match that you could almost not guess who the winner's going to be. I mean, really. I mean, it could go either way. You know, Triple H can win, Undertaker can win, John Cena could win, The Rock could win. It'd be kind of weird if The Rock won, but CM Punk can win, Jericho can win. It'd be kind of stupid for Jericho to win, but I can see it happening. Daniel Bryan, Sheamus. You know, Daniel Bryan's been sneaky, and Sheamus has been, a strong face in the heel, for the past few years. So who knows? Randy Orton, Kane. I mean, they could go either way. They could throw us a wrench and have Kane win and continue the feud after Mania. You never know. I mean, they just started the feud really. So I mean, if they started the feud and ended up at Extreme Rules or something, that'd be kind of weird. See that happen. So really, who knows? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I had a comment and I couldn't believe it because when right before WrestleMania, even like around the Austin Attitude Era, it was No Way Out. Now I was ready for them to announce the No Way Out card before WrestleMania at the last review, and it ended up being an Elimination Chamber. I'm like, what? Elimination Chamber? So this makes no sense whatsoever. All right, so why wouldn't you? I don't know. Like, what I'm thinking is, why wouldn't you put Money in the Bank, a little further toward, a little bit away from WrestleMania or the Elimination Chamber? Yeah. I'm thinking about Money in the Bank too at the same time. Though, Royal Rumble and them needs to be kind of levitated, certain areas and time period if they're gonna have the Money in the Bank pay-per-view still. And I think the reason why that's another topic, but the reason why the Royal Rumble and the Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank thing's kind of up in the air because I think WWE kind of likes the concept, but they're not sure how to continue it because they don't like to where it's placed at WrestleMania because. But if they start a WrestleMania tradition, it's cool that they, started a new WrestleMania tradition where they have a Money in the Bank match. Because any guy who, we're like, well, we wanted to put him on the show, but we're not sure where to put him. But maybe they're not ready for Money in the Bank. But, maybe the fans think they're ready. Put them in there. See what happens. I mean, even to the degree that they start doing it maybe for... any belt on the card. That's what they need to start doing. Not just holding it for the World Championship. Say, you can use that briefcase for any championship in the WWE. Even to hold a women's Money in the Bank match would be amazing. And I don't think they had that Money in the Bank this past year of the women, but that would be pretty interesting to see a women's Money in the Bank match. Throwing that out there, Vince. Come on, do it. Anyway. But yeah, Elimination Chamber right before WrestleMania. So that seems like the stupidest thing ever. So right before the Super Bowl of wrestling, you're going to have an extreme match where anybody can get injured. Things could happen. Some wrestler, the champion, might not make it to the pay-per-view because he got hurt in Elimination Chamber. I'm like, why? I was thinking about those. These people could get really badly hurt right before WrestleMania. John Cena was in the match, I think. It's no, he wasn't. But they had a lot of people who CM Punk was in there, Jericho was in there. It's what if that was for real? What if that scar and everything was for real for Chris Jericho? What if I don't know if it was, but I don't think it is because we haven't seen anything really from him. Or we haven't heard that he's really injured or anything. But what if that was real? And what if he would have got hurt? And then Jericho would have been done. Who would have Punk faced? Nobody. He probably would have faced Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania or something. That probably wouldn't have made much buys. WrestleMania, you want to put the big dogs out there. Guys you build up throughout the year, or somebody who you think is going to be able to, carry into 2012. Really, honestly, if that probably would have happened, they probably would have had Sheamus win, they probably would have had him pick CM Punk, and then, Randy Orton would have faced probably Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, which probably would have been a better choice, to be honest. Have Daniel Bryan go over Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That would have been awesome. Anyway, so there you go. Not really much of a WrestleMania go-home show from another Raw. And some little extra thoughts for me in between. I go way off askew sometimes on my Raw previews, but there you go. Hope you have a Merry Christmas next year, and I'll do a video before then. Yeah, I will. But yeah, great. Hope you watch WrestleMania next weekend. This coming weekend. Yeah. This Sunday. So I hope everybody watches WrestleMania this Sunday, has a great time watching it. I'm sure it'll be really, really entertaining. It's always entertaining. nevertheless. So should be better than last year. But I heard last year and the year before hadn't been very good. So this year should be pretty good. Probably the best WrestleMania in the past 5 years, to be honest. What I'm hearing. So everybody have fun, watch it, and I'll hope to tell you what I think about what happened because I'm not gonna watch it. I don't have the money. Don't got the moolah. I ain't got the time to sit here and watch it live. So if I can catch a replay or a few matches online, I'll check it out. But later. It's been Brad Tragick.